I call Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I rise to take a brief call on behalf of New Zealand First and on behalf of my colleague Fletcher Tabato in this Committee of the Whole House as we debate the Taxation, Kiwisaver, Homestart and Remedial Matters Bill. Mr Chairman, as we have outlined previously, New Zealand First does support this bill, albeit with some minor reservations. And I want to focus on one part of the bill which we do not believe has received as much attention as it warrants in terms of its importance to a very specific and very important sector of society, Mr Chairman, and that is our returned service people, that's our veterans. That is clauses 8 to 11. And we have a concern that rather than being effectively remedial as it's intended to be and correcting certain anomalies, this bill as it is constructed will have the effect of in fact compromising the potential income of some veterans. Mr Chairman, this would be our single greatest concern, and I'm sure the Minister and the Chair will take the opportunity to rise, as she is wont to do, in order to allay this concern, because we are certain it's not the intention of the Government to in any way compromise the financial position that our veterans may find themselves in. Mr Chairman, we understand that the intent of the bill is remedial with regards to veteran support payments, that it tidies up, it's intended to tidy up parts of the Income Tax Act 2007 so that income replacement payments under the Veteran Support Act 2014 are treated the same way for tax purposes as are payments provided by ACC, and that they are taken into account as regards social policy calculations, and so that they do not trigger the application of rules relating to auto-enrolment and the compulsory employment contributions to Kiwisaver. So this is admirable, and it is only proper and right, and that it does so, and we wholeheartedly support that. But we do hold a concern, as my colleague outlined earlier in this debate, that it may in fact have the opposite effect under certain circumstances, and we would very much appreciate the Minister taking time to address this. The Veteran Support Act 2014 was legislation which adopted most of the recommendations of the 2010 Law Commission's review of the War Pensions Act 1954. The Commission made 170 recommendations and the Government adopted 132 of them, which is admirable, we believe. The Act required reviewing because it was outdated, Mr Chairman. It was designed to deal with the physical risks and effects of deployments, but it didn't cover the psychological or environmental risks and ongoing repercussions faced by veterans, by service people who would become veterans. It focused on disability compensation, but did not provide for rehabilitation. So the 2014 Act sought to address these anomalies, Mr Chairman, but as is all too often the case, the law of unintended consequences saw it falling foul of some unforeseen traps in other pieces of legislation, notably tax law, which is what we're dealing with in this bill. Our concern then, or New Zealand First's concern, is around the benevolent margin, and it is this which I would very much like the Minister to provide some further assurances on. The War Pensions Act was a form of workplace injury compensation in the days before ACC. And some veterans qualify for compensation payments under both that Act and ACC, while others only qualify under the older scheme. Mr Chairman, the RSA's submission to the Select Committee proposes, I quote, that the benevolent margin for veterans, which so obviously was a part of parliamentary thinking when ACC was established, has not in fact been delivered as intended. Sometimes the letter of the law doesn't always manage to quite capture the spirit of its intention, Mr Chairman. And I very much hope the Minister will undertake to ensure, either by way of amendment or directive, to clarify that position of that intent. The 2014 Act provided, I quote, veterans who are under the age of retirement and unable to work because of any medical condition are able to receive a higher rate of income compensation than is available under the 1954 Act, and surviving spouses or partners, children and dependents continue to receive the same types of compensation as under the 1954 Act, end of quote. We very much want to be reassured that the higher rate of compensation provided for under the 2014 Act is able to survive the changes to tax law brought about by this and preceding Acts, Mr Chairman, because if there is one group of people in society who deserve the best deal possible, it is our veterans, to whom we all owe a collective debt of honour. In closing then, Mr Chairman, I reiterate that New Zealand First will continue to support this bill. I look forward to the Minister's very next erudite contribution, which we hope will be reassuring as well. Thank you.